Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Hope you're good. We're going to talk about Ethereum to 20k. Is it possible? I'm going to explain my reasons, my thoughts only. I'm not a financial advisor. So let's get started. So welcome, subscribe, like, hit the thumbs up button, whatever you want to do with it, bell button, etc. Cool things. Link below, free trading if you so wish to jump in for the first month anyways, learn a lot. I stack a lot of Ethereum. I'm very a Ethereum kind of guy in terms of trading. I think Ethereum for trading is really good and I do that on Bybit, link again below. Now, people always say Bitcoin, $1 million, right? That's what they say. 500k, 250k, 100k, 45k, 20k, right? Give or take. So everyone's like, oh my god, what if Bitcoin goes to the moon, right? So you could probably argue how much could it be. So let's have a look, right? Just to let you know, I've got another screen here. This is where I do my calculations on, so I don't look like a complete and utter dick. So bear with me on this, because let's do a bit of mathematical data in terms of all these numbers, right? Market cap is a weird one because it's overall valuation per asset per how many coins you've got. Okay, we know with Bitcoin we've probably lost quite a lot. Circulating supply is definitely not 18 million because there's a lot in skips in Wales, right? So we know that, but let's just say Bitcoin goes to 1 million, right? Million price. You say we're going to times it roughly by, we'll say 16 million, right? We'll say 16 million in terms of coins. That's like a 16 trillion market cap, right? 16 trillion, which is quite a lot. It's a fucking lot, I know that. But that is what's been touted as an overall valuation of Bitcoin in the future, right? So keep that in your head, 16 trillion. I'm going to do XRP now. XRP has been touted to go to $500, 589. You've already seen people say 1,000, 100, 10,000, etc. Fucking loads, right? Massive amounts of money, right? So let's just go conservative. Let's go 589 because that's a funny number. Because everyone's like, oh, it's going to go to 589. So 589 times by, we'll say 44 billion, which is a freaking lot. Boom. 26 trillion overall market cap. Remember, keep that in your head. Now let's do Ethereum to $20,000, right? So we know with Ethereum there's a difference in supply, so it's different. Let's just do 20,000, boom, times by, let's just say 109, was it 940,371, 2.2 trillion. Right, so you already know in your head that things are a bit different. You got Bitcoin, a lot. XRP, a lot. Ethereum, So if you're wondering why I'm doing this, well, I just want to kind of put a bit of realism to certain things. If the world of cryptocurrency goes absolute bang, right, as in it is an alternative method to fiat, as in you can use it all the time, it's been adopted, it's had tests of time, i.e. let's talk 10 to 20 years in the future now. We don't know what's going to happen, we don't know. Nothing is impossible. We know a few things. Go with the bloody trend and don't be a dick with your money, basically, right? 2.2 trillion overall market cap would give you roughly estimated kind of round number of $20,000 per Ethereum. Now, let me know in the comments if you think that's realistic or not. When you compare it to the likes of the ambitious XRP predictions, the ambitious 1 million per Bitcoin experiment, not so much experiment, but a prediction essentially, they're a lot higher. So why does Ethereum get shot down when people say, oh, it's going to go to 20k, it's going to go to 25k, it's going to go higher? It's laughable in my opinion, because you cannot say one thing for one when you got the next best alternative in terms of decentralized application, the best test of time alternative compared to Bitcoin, etc., in terms of it's obviously number 2 for a reason. Why does that not have to be so high as well? Oh, it's just confusing. So let's look at a few things, right? We know what Ethereum is. It's a global open source decentralized application. If the world is realistically going to go onto the smart contract realm and payment solutions and all kinds of stuff like that, decentralized applications, and building it on Ethereum, if it is, remember, fundamentals, if it is the best blockchain out there for that purpose, you're going to get a lot of people building on it, especially if the world goes adoption into Bitcoin, into cryptocurrency, cryptography, all kinds of good stuff, smart contracts, etc. Test of time is a big thing. Value is a big thing. There's also an element of scarcity as well, of how many coins you can have, usage, fees, etc. Now, charting. Let's have a look at the chart, because why not? All-time high. A lot. I want it to go back up there personally. I think it would be a nice little region. But in my opinion, I think all this will be tiny in 5 to 10 years time. I think this will be tiny in terms of this little blip. I think it'll fuck off. And when you look at the chart and you start thinking like, well, let's have a little look. Let's just compress this, right? We do not know what could happen in valuations of any asset, right? We just don't know. If you start thinking, well, what could happen? Look at the log scale here, right? Cool. That is a log scale of Ethereum. See here, that's the price. What would happen if we did go up to these regions? Not that region, sorry. Down here. Come on, get carried away. It's absolutely impossible to say what could happen in the future. It really is impossible what could happen. Just look at it, right? This is a chart. It's random, I know. But in my opinion, right? In my opinion, I don't think we're even started yet. We've got to think of where we are in the current realm of cryptocurrency. A long way to go. So if Bitcoin is that store of value that people are barking on about, if it is that scarcity, stock flow ratio kind of element we're due to halving, well, if Bitcoin is going to go up to those levels due to that, where the fuck is Ethereum going to go? Because that's going to follow. It's going to follow hard. It always does. So if you're going to do a little bullish prediction of any sort of wave retracement from the top to the bottom, and you're already looking at what the Fibonacci extensions are saying, you already know in your head that $2,000 is already in reach from the weekly if you're going to do a retracement from the low to the high to the next bottom. The next rally point wouldn't surprise me or wouldn't shock me at all if we went up to there. It wouldn't shock me in the fucking slightest at all here. Whee! Boom. Now, compound, FOMO, use case, utility, people just genuinely using it, people talking about it, YouTubers getting a bigger presence, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. If Bitcoin is gonna go to the moon, and I mean really go for it, a $100 region of Ethereum is gonna get gobbled up very, very quickly in terms of FOMO. It already has. Look at the last few days in terms of what could happen with Ethereum. Oops. Sorry for my random little drawing there. When you look at the last 3 weeks of 4 weeks, or 5 or whatever, look at this, right? That went up $163 in a matter of 49 days. That's 131%. Now, if Ethereum is going to go up to 20k, there would only be literally, well, if it's less than 100x, and everyone's looking for the 100x opportunities, there might be one right in front of you. That's all I want to say on that one. Now, again, it could go to the moon, and we do not know what could happen, even from this current let's go from the current price point. If you're looking at a potential run, even up to $800, it's 234%. It's huge money, right? But the problem is, people are disregarding it already. But I'm going to put a bold prediction and say, I think at some point in the next year or two, that is going to be the possible area of a retest. If Bitcoin is bullish, if the market is obviously bullish, the stock flow ratio of Bitcoin, scarcity, halving, all kinds of stuff, 2021, 2022 regions, and there's a bull cycle, it will eclipse this massively, and it will go to blue sky breakout sort of thing. Off it goes, and that is a potential area, and that is nearly a 10x from current price points. But it could easily go that 94, 95x and go to 20k easily if Bitcoin is also mooning. Possible. So I know this video is a bit random, but you got to think of the bigger picture. You got to think long term. 2.2 trillion market cap is little compared to what Bitcoin will be at 1 million. It is very, very small compared to what XRP predictions are, what the Moon Boys are saying, essentially. Same with all the other coins out there that people are saying, oh, Cardano's going to go to whatever dollars. The supply matters, and with Ethereum, you got that kind of in your favour, even with staking, with all the other stuff. But when you look at this and you think, well, what would happen if we did go to 20k? Is it possible? 85x, pretty much. Ooh. So, today's video's done. It's random as fuck, I know. But don't disregard a 2.2 trillion market cap of Ethereum at 20k. Do not buy now and just hold on to it. Learn how to grow it. Learn how to be organic with your buy zones. Wait for the perfect buy point and just hold on to it. You just never know what could happen in the next 5, 10, 20 years.